Hey guys, this is episode 5 by The Doctor. And in this one, we're going to be introduced to a very interesting character, very unlike anything we've ever seen in Storybrooke. And who is it?
It's Frankenstein, kind of.
It's not.
It's Dr. Frankenstein.
It is?
Yeah, So the story of Frankenstein, everybody
Amy.
thinks that the guy with the bullets in his neck who walks around like a zombie is Frankenstein. Actually, he's just called the monster. Frankenstein is the name of the doctor who builds the monster.
Dr. Frankenstein.
The more you know. So in this episode, we're learning about Dr. Frankenstein, who is also known as Dr. Whale in Storybrooke.
Exactly, and Dr. Whale's kind of been like under the radar, flying under the radar, but this is like really like, oh my gosh, like this is who he is. Okay.
Can I just say for the record, I hate this episode. It's really...
Katie does not like this episode.
It's really crappy.
I'm okay with it. Wait, tell us about the parts you do like.
Okay, so I really like that they go to black and white for all the scenes that take place with Dr. Frankenstein. I think it's a really great homage to the old school films.
Yeah.
It's
Very
just,
cool.
it's really...
It's very different.
Yeah, very different, really greatly filmed. I feel like it's a little breakup from our normal fairy tale pattern. It's not a fairy tale. It doesn't quite flow right with everything that's been going on. It's a little out of the blue. And I feel like it's just a little bit of a throwaway. So that's why I really don't like it. The techniques are great. It's really cool what they're doing as far as visually what's going on. But as far as storyline, it's kind of, we're going on a side route that I don't know that we need to go on.
Okay, and I'm going to debate you because I think it's smart. I think it's smart to throw in like a completely oddball character. But then again, you don't like the completely, like you didn't like Mulan. And you don't like the doctor.
They messed up Mulan and they didn't even give her dragon friend.
Okay. So you're like characters that don't like coincide. You're like,
well,
yeah.
buddy. Well, if you're gonna make them coincide, I think there has to be a really good reason to do it, and you really have to be careful with how you weave it in. We'll find out in some later episodes and some later seasons how you can really mess things up and just weave people in and be like, they were there the whole time. And it doesn't work. I think the outside story built around this is good. The stuff with Regina is really good.
mm-hmm.
And it feeds into this, but I still feel like this was a really far left. And
Okay,
when
you feel like it's a disconnect.
Exactly, and
Okay.
when you
I
take
could see that.
Yeah, I think when you take people into stuff like this, you kind of got to ease them in so it's not a shock to their system.
Okay, got you. I think I understand where you're coming from. The story is I can like see what you're saying. The story is that Regina is trying to revive Daniel, and this doctor from another realm who is all passionate about science can revive him. But lo and behold, obviously, Rumpelstiltskin is behind the whole thing, and they try to revive Daniel, but Rumpel doesn't give them the correct heart to revive Daniel. But in the real world, we see that Dr. Whale is somehow stuck with all these people from the Enchanted Forest, and he's trying to get back to his time, his realm, so he could help his brother, which is Frankenstein, right?
His brother's actually Igor, I believe.
Okay, his brother's name is not Frankenstein, but it's Igor.
Yeah.
And so Dr. Whale tries to revive Daniel again so he could get the evil queen to actually like send him back to his land.
Yeah, he's the only guy, aside from Emma, who is not from that realm. And even then, Emma's technically from the Enchanted Forest. So he is the only guy not from the Enchanted Forest.
That's very true. In the end, he does so, but Daniel comes back, obviously, as a monster. But Regina finds him and sees him, and obviously he's a monster. He's trying to kill people.
I love you, but I want to strangle you.
That's exactly what happens. Exactly. But there's a split second. I guess their love is strong enough that he revives for a second, and hugs Regina and is like, oh my gosh, like, he really did not say, oh my gosh. But
he was like, I love you so much, and if you love me that much, just kill me. Please just kill me.
Just get it over
I'm a
with.
monster. I'm not the man you fell in love with, really.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking, and she just does this really cool spell where it's like he falls, all his ashes fall, and it's just like.
She's like, oh, this hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah, exactly. And it was an interesting choice of words. I would think like his last words should be "I love you" and like "I've always loved," you know, like something like that. They only had it's so deep because if you think about it, like if you only had a few seconds with the person that you loved, like what would you say to them in its last moments? And for the writers to choose that last phrase, like "then love again," I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, because he was totally like, if you love me, you can love again. He's like giving her hope, like there is a future for you, but it's not with me. And that's hard. Yeah.
That's really sad.
But
that's
I think
super sad.
Ultimately it's for her better because she has this burning passion love that's like been going on for probably nearly 30 years now. He hasn't had that. He had the young, like, frolicky love in the fields, you know. But that was a really short time for him. He doesn't have this burning passion 30-year love.
Yeah, and it's a love. What Regina turned into because of his death was not. It wasn't what he would have wanted.
No.
It was something completely dark and very, very like causing pain to the people around her. Yeah. So. Maybe that's why those were his last choices. Like, you must love again. Like,
so you're not this.
So you're not this. And obviously, she's obviously redeeming herself as episodes go by. They're really trying to give her that, like, there's hope in her. Don't give up on her. Don't give up on this character.
She's having some great character development. We're seeing different sides of her and kind of how she's become this evil and what makes her tick and what's driving her. And
yeah.
So this is that's the redeeming part of this episode, I think, for me, is we get to see parts of Regina we wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, great character development episode for her. Great idea to bring Daniel back for a second and see what could have been. So yeah, it's a good episode. Obviously, it has a lot of faults, but as well as Katie described. But it's good storytelling. Alright guys, that was it for episode 5. Oh my gosh, 5.
Leave your questions and comments down below. And if you could revive one love from your past.
Oh god. Oh my god. Let's especially not the one we just talked about.
No, that is not a love. But I don't know, I have a toss-up. I have 2.
Oh my gosh, I would not revive any. For one, no way, don't call me, don't stalk me, don't follow me on Instagram. No, blocked.
I might have one.